When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hey guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. Now, before we begin or get started into the story, I will be getting back into streaming. Right now I'm currently playing Dark Souls to get my mindset and get used to the combat. When I finally get Elden Ring and try it out. I've been watching a couple of videos on it and it seems like a whole lot of fun. So I might get into that game. I'll probably end up streaming it on Twitch, considering how you can't really stream off your Xbox through YouTube for some weird reason. I mean, there's a ways to go about it, but I don't have the necessary equipment to actually do that, so I'm kind of stuck with Twitch. So I'm gonna have to recreate another Twitch account, so I don't remember the old password to my old one. So then when I stream, I'll put a link into my community tab and tell you guys when it's going to happen. I might even stream a little bit of I'll probably stream the Dark Souls game while I'm at it, so. Well, enough with that. Let's get into the fanfiction. After Superman finished his inner dialogue, that was in the last part. Kara, why don't you wait here? It's been some time since you spent time with the Teen Titans. While you do that, me and Ezekiel here will have a heart-to-heart talk. Sure thing, cuz. What are you up to, Kryptonian? Relax, I'm only doing Black Canary a favor. So I'll be taking you under my wing for a while. You have some very serious issues that needs to be resolved, and the best way to go about it is for you to spend more time with the people of Earth. There's more to the human race than what's on the surface. And I had the go ahead from your mother. So you really don't have the choice in the matter right now. I highly doubt that, Kryptonian. I could fight you, but I'll humor you, considering you have some sort of friendship with my mother. I'm doing this for my mother's sake, not yours, Kryptonian. Perfectly fine with that. We'll be heading to Metropolis. Metropolis, you say? I might dislike majority of the race on this planet. But Metropolis is one of my favorite towns that you humans have made for yourself. So be it. Lead the way. As the Kryptonian, young new god, take flight to Metropolis, Ezekiel noticed they're flying over Metropolis. Hey, Kryptonian, I thought we're going to enter the city. That was the original idea. But we're heading to Smallville first. My wife would kill me if I didn't introduce you to her. She's been expecting our arrival for a few minutes now, and I just ran out of time. Your mother and my wife are very good friends. Her name's Lois. Lois? Where have I heard that name before? Ah, I believe I heard my mom say it a few times. When she's talking on the phone. Mother seems to quite enjoy their conversations on the telephone. According to my memory, my mother seems to like her quite a bit. Very well, Kryptonian. Let's go to this Smallville. As the Kryptonian and the new god touched down in front of a large house on the Kent property line, their farm basically, only to see a black-haired woman with an irritated face, with her hands on both of her hips, looking very annoyed at Clark. You're late. Sorry about that, dear. I had to find a way to convince Ezekiel over here to come along. Lois finally shifted her attention towards the young man standing next to her husband, as she completely ignored her husband, as she gave Ezekiel a warm smile, then gently grabbed onto his hand and led him into the house, into the kitchen, as she sat him down on the kitchen table. It's good to finally meet you, Ezekiel. I've heard a lot about you from Barda. You must be hungry. Let me fix you something up real fast. A little birdie told me that you're quite a fan of ice cream. Yes, I quite enjoy ice cream. It's one of my favorite things that you humans have invented. That doesn't cause mass chaos and death. Maybe you're lactose intolerant, and ice cream probably could kill you, but that's neither here and there. Well, have you ever had a shake? I don't believe I have. I've heard of them, of course. Never had a chance to try one of these milkshakes. Well, you're in for a treat. She began making the milkshake for Izuku. After Lowe's made his shake and some food, as she placed it in front of him on the kitchen table, dig in. Afterwards, I'll show you to your room. After all, you're going to be a guest for a while. I should be back shortly. I'm going to have a nice little chat with my dear husband. Izuku has seen that expression on his mother's face. He was. That's a sign that he's in trouble with her. And he knows Superman has the same problem currently. In some serious that the Kryptonian's in some serious trouble with his wife. He can't help but be satisfied of the thought of the Kryptonian getting yelled at by a human, no less. As he calmly eats his burger and fries with his milkshake, hearing in the background Lois nagging Clark, as Izuku has a has a grin on his face, like everything in the world is like everything is right in the world. For some reason, he likes to make Superman's life a lot more difficult. For some reason, he gets a rise out of it. It's quite entertaining for him. Serves that Kryptonian right, bringing me to a farm of all places. I suppose I could stay for a while. The food is quite good. Now, I don't mind conversating with that human. I can see why my mom is so taken with her. After he got done with his food, he took his dishes and cleaned them in the sink. Then, then he put the dishes back in the drawers after he dried them off. Lois did see him do that. You didn't have to do that, but thank you anyways. It's a force of habit on my part. I left a dirty dish in the sink one time, and Mom wasn't very happy about that. She kind of she kind of threw me through a wall when we were arguing, and I did provoke her. So that was on me mostly. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me in that sort of behavior. It would be a very inappropriate for a human standards, but you are new god, so different customs, I guess. According to, sorry, give me a second. According to my mother, I was called, oh, sorry. According to my mother, I was what she called a demon kid. that like to cause random chaos out of nowhere. Yeah, your mother did tell me stories about when she was raising you when you first got there. According to your mother, you were very hard to raise, being raised in Apocalypse. E- Even I know a normal method of parenting wouldn't work in that situation. Your mother did a pretty good job. You're not all bad. You're not causing chaos in the city. Oh no, no thank you. I would rather not upset my mother. It's a lot more healthier for me that way. Can't blame you there. Your mother's yeah. Can't blame you there. That's a very smart move. Your mother is very scary when she gets upset. And that's the reason why I try to avoid such situations. That would anger her. I rather not get thrown through a wall again. The first time was enough for me. I'm fully aware I'm far more powerful than my mother, but she's my mom. I'm not going to hurt her. Might hurt my old man though, but that's another story entirely. Ezekiel spent the few months helping around the farm with Clark and Lois, so Clark can build some sort of bond between the between the three of them when he's not working on the farm or helping Lois with a lot of charity work, like going down to the soup kitchens and serving the homeless food. As Superman got him adjusted to sorry after Superman got him adjusted to the daily life on the farm and the life on interacting with people, he started taking him on patrols around Metropolis, just giving him the daily life of everyone else that lives in the city. Izuku still calls Superman or Clark Kryptonian. He's a lot more friendlier towards his wife. It's one of his mother's friends, so he's going to be in his best behavior. If word got back that he misbehaved, yeah, that's the last thing he wants to go. That's the last thing he wants to deal with. As Superman gave him daily life lessons, trying to show him the value of human life, somehow he found himself in the middle between one of Superman's conflicts with Lex Luthor. All three of them are unaware that a meteor is heading towards planet Earth as the first trial has officially began. As the meteor itself is not dangerous, what's dangerous is what's inside that meteor. And by the angle of it's basically going to crash into the outskirts of Metropolis. Going to land the outskirts of Metropolis, but what's inside the meteor is the dangerous part, or the dangerous thing. The sleeping beast waiting to cause chaos. As Izuku sees Lex, well, as he, sorry, as Izuku found himself in a warehouse that is owned by Lex, while he's while Lex Luthor is untying his tie and rolling up his sleeves of his shirt, he took some sort of device and plunged it into his neck, injecting himself with something. Lex Luthor just ingested himself or plunged, infected himself with his, the serum that he created will give him the closest he can get currently to the capabilities of uh, to a superpowered Kryptonian when it comes to strength and durability. He based the serum after Superman himself. After all, the serum still in its trial basis, but Lex Luthor wanted to give the serum a test run, and Superman is the perfect test subject to figure out what kinks needs to be fixed. As is is as well as is will only give him temporary superior super strength and durability. The serum is nowhere near complete, or is sorry, fucking try this again. Nowhere near its complete stage. When he's finished, the serum will be a permanent thing, but for right now, it's only temporary. As you see Izuku floating in the warehouse watching Superman clash with Lex Luthor, with Lex Luthor's surprising new strength after he injects himself with some sort of liquid into his neck. I see. So that's how he did it. Some sort of serum, judging by his performance. After after all, he took that little injection. He is displaying unordinary super strength that a normal human can't even produce. But his strength seems to be fading bit by bit, so it's temporary. Interesting. Hey, Kryptonian, his strength is only temporary. Whatever he injects himself with, it must be in the early stages in development. This thing is a stupid test. And I highly doubt he actually has a Lois. It's only act on his part. I highly doubt she's even here. Well, quite impressive, young man, to guess my plan to the T. The green hair young man is correct. I don't have Miss Lois. Never did. I can't be at fault if you act out of impulse instead of checking if she was all right. That's why I can never get it. That's why I can never get along with you, Superman. Despite you being an alien, you're too emotional. You should be using that brains instead of falling prey to your feelings. What exactly are you? Oh, sorry. What exactly are you? As Lex looks up to Izuku, you look human. Are you some sort of distant relative of Superman? Looks can be deceiving. You can never be too careful. Don't assault me, Lex. I'm no Kryptonian. You could count on that. I am not a human. I'm far from it. Far more superior than a mere human. Izuku moved so fast Lex Luthor couldn't react in time as Izuku landed a solid right hook across his face, making him go flying out of the warehouse, skidding across the street, breaking the gravel as he's sliding across the ground. Even Superman was surprised by his speed. He could barely keep up with Izuku's attack when he attacked Lex Luthor. I'm gonna play with Lex for a little bit while you contact Miss Lois to see if she's all right. You don't need to worry. I won't kill him, even though I think it would be a better choice. But it's your city. I'll follow your weird code of conduct. It doesn't really matter to me in the long run. I plan to have far more superior foes than a mere human. Lex was sorry. Lex was finally able to stop his momentum, sliding across the street by digging his fist into the pavement, stopping his momentum. When he looked up, he saw the green-haired kid slam his knee into his face. Izuku picked up Lex by the back of his neck and slammed him into the street repeatedly as he kicked Lex Luthor into a building. Luckily for Izuku, part of the city or in Metropolis is abandoned, so there won't be any civilians in the way. It's all being it's all being remodeled currently. So only people are occasionally come here is the construction people, construction workers. Your little serum of yours, human, was a good idea. I'll give you that. For a human intellect. But you still, but you should have waited until you had it fully completed. When you, when you tested on your little strength against Superman, or sorry, Kryptonian. Now I wonder, how long will your abilities last? Unlike the Kryptonian, I don't see you humans on a very high pedestal. I don't outright hate your species, but doesn't change the facts that your species is inferior to me. As Lex Luthor gets kicked in the face, you see, I'm different from those Kryptonians. That Kryptonian that you call Superman. He knows how to hold back. I always had a problem in that department. As Ezekiel made Lex Luthor struggle to get up. Phrase that wrong. Lex Luthor struggled to get on his feet. As Lex runs, basically, charge at Ezekiel, throwing a right fist across his face, only for to have it catch. Oh, sorry, only for Ezekiel to catch his fist into his hand. Nice try, human. You're far too weak. As he drove his knee into Lex's stomach, then elbowed him in the back of the head, making him fall down to the ground. You know you could consider yourself lucky, human. If you were my adversary, you would have not survived the first encounter. I would have ended you on the spot. For some reason, that Kryptonian can't understand this simple fact. If you take out the threat permanently, they don't cause trouble because they would be dead. And it boggles my mind why the Kryptonian doesn't end you finally. I do understand why you want to test your little serum, and I'm guessing you haven't been able to draw out the full potential of the serum of yours. It's quite impressive that you made a serum to fight against Superman. For a feat for a mere human, it's quite impressive. As Lex saw his shift in mood immediately when he was angry, then shift to calm and collective like it never happened. Oh shit, I totally forgot. I could easily create your little serum. If I had the right time, I probably could come up with something that's 10 times more better than your little serum. But I don't have the time or the patience to compete against a lower life form such as yourself. No matter how smart you think you are, in the end of the day, you're still a weak, feeble human. I've been observing all the different kinds of humans since I've been stuck with the Kryptonian. Majority of them are trash, but I do see a couple good examples of their species. Despite your species' destructive nature, there are still a few good humans out there. Of course, any of the humans here probably wouldn't survive where I come from, my home planet. Don't get me wrong, it's no knock on your species. It's just we're built different than you. Our genetics are far more improved than your average today human. But I can't hold every human or every human to my racist standards. Now, where do you think you're where do you think you're crawling off to? I'm not done with you yet. I'm starting as he grabs. Sorry, tries again. I'm just starting. As he grabbed on Lex's ankle and lifted him up in the air and slammed him down to the ground, making a small crater. If I was in your shoes, I probably would have waited until I had the final product before I fought against Superman. I would have. Then I wouldn't have to fight someone who's clearly lesser than me. I mean, there's plenty of people you could have hired or fought against. There's a couple in Gotham that have a pretty impressive strength. Like Killer Croc and Bane. And Bizarro. I would have picked Bizarro if I were you, but you're an idiot, so that can't be helped. Taurus, it's neither here or there. You were unlucky enough to cross paths with me. The moment you picked a day of all days to plot and test, you were doomed to fail long before I entered the equation. Ezekiel heard something in the sky, as his attention is no longer on Lex. As Lex made his escape while he was distracted by the light show, as a meteor seems to be shooting through the sky, heading towards the outskirts of Metropolis. As Superman finally arrived, after making sure the meteor wasn't going to hit the city, where he knows he was after he was done talking with his wife. Well, that's interesting. You don't see a meteor hitting a planet during the day. Lex. That sneaky little human managed to slither away. I kind of got distracted by the flying meteor. And he probably took that chance to slither away like the coward he is. Cowardly move, but smart. He'll live longer. I can get him for you if you want. No trouble. That won't be necessary. He didn't actually break any laws this time. Break any laws, and there's no civilians presence, considering this place is still under construction, so no harm has actually been done, despite a couple buildings you destroyed. Sorry about that, Kryptonian. I got caught up in the fight. So, what do you want to do, Kryptonian? Go home or investigate that meteor that does hit? Let's head back home, for now. We'll let the government deal with the meteorite. It's their job, after all, when it comes to stuff like this. Or at least their science division. Let's get going, then. As the two of them take flight to head back to Smallville, as they, made their way to, Kent Farm, Superman and Ezekiel noticed Lois was watching the news in the living room. She's on medical leave from her reporting job. She's expecting a child. She's still in her early stages of pregnancy. Now, she's on medical leave. She watches the footage of the reporters from the different news station that she's not really familiar with. They're at the scene of the meteor crash, or where it landed, as there's a humongous meteor is cooling down from entering the atmosphere. I might have paused this part when I was talking, so let's start this over. Sorry, guys. When Superman and Ezekiel made it back to the campfire, they noticed Lois was watching TV, watching the news in the living room. She's on medical leave from her reporting job. She's expecting a child soon. She's on medical leave. She watches the footage of one of the rival news stations reporting the meteor crash. As the meteor landed, well, as the footage shows, the humongous meteor, it's quite red. It's cooling down as it's in the middle of the wilderness. As it's very red from re-entry from the atmosphere, or the entry of the atmosphere, basically. Before Ezekiel could lose interest, a gray-looking creature bursts out of the meteor and begins slaughtering everyone there. About time Ezekiel turned his head towards the Kryptonian, he was already gone. Sorry about that. He's been doing that a lot recently. I blame Batman. But if anyone could stop that thing, it's Clark. Let's just have you stay out of it. I know you're fully capable of handling yourself. Let Superman and the Justice League deal with this. No reason for you to endanger your lives. Your life. Very well, Miss Lane. I'll sit this one out. For now, at least. If I find they can't handle it, then I'll interfere. The Kryptonian's pretty strong, so he should be able to stop whatever this thing is. My mother would be very saddened if the Kryptonian just died. For some reason, she cherished their friendship, alongside with yours, of course. It would be problematic if the Kryptonian died on me. This new situation is this whole news station thing is very ineffective. So let's fix that, shall we? Lois couldn't say anything. Sorry. Ezekiel got up and left the room before Lois could say anything about his comment, as he took out several round metal balls and tossed them out of the front door. As all the balls start to morph into Apocalypse sentry droids for spying and all that stuff. As the sentry bot does hover, we'll be able to capture the whole fight once he places a thin round piece of metal. It's like a disc. As he places the disc on the television, the television slowly begins to change, showing the footage of the sentry, of whatever they see. It didn't take the sentry bots very long to locate the Justice League, as they see the whole fight from Lois's and Clark's own living room. If I'm gonna be bench, at least I'm gonna have a good show, good seat for to the event. Really expecting that. What did you do to my television? You don't need to worry, Miss Lane. Once I take the disc off the television, your television will revert back to normal. What I did was temporarily infuse your human technology with Apocalypse tech. My own invention, of course. When the fight began between the Justice League and this unknown threat that will be known as Doomsday, he watches the Justice League start to push it back little by little bit, but when they were forced to actually consider killing the creature, it seems to be mindless and it's too dangerous to be kept alive, and Batman believes it to be illogical to try to contain it. Each time the Justice League would actually kill the creature, it would get back up and adapt. By this time, Superman has already killed it twice by Frost Breath and Heat Vision, only for the creature to grow bones around his body and begins to viciously beat down the Justice League. Ezekiel is no longer sitting on the couch. He's standing up as he has his hands behind his back as he's watching Doomsday manhandle Superman. Superman started to cough up blood as he kneeled on one knee, barely struggling to get to his feet. I've seen enough, Lois. I'll be stepping in now. Be careful and bring my husband back alive. Don't worry, the Kryptonian will not be dying today. It would be in my best interest to keep him alive. Meanwhile, Wonder Woman is trying to distract Doomsday to give Superman some time to recover, as she's only the member of the Justice League besides Superman is still standing. Green Lantern is already out of the fight alongside Flash and Martian Manhunter. Batman's only still standing, well, barely standing, as long as Hawkgirl. Doomsday has finally got the Amazon warrior down on her knee, as he's about to go give the finish of the killing blow, with his bones on his knuckles. He's aiming to able to pierce through her skin, as he's aiming to pierce her with his bones to her heart. As he swung his fist towards Wonder Woman, as there was a huge shock wave as everyone sees a young man with green hair stopping the fist of Doomsday, saving Wonder Woman and the rest of the League. I believe you had your fun. Now it's my turn to have my fun. Now, whatever you are, as he immediately uppercut Doomsday as he goes flying out of the city limits of Metropolis. Ezekiel knows he can't let loose in the city, so he's forced to take this new playmate outside the city limits, where there won't be any bystanders. Wait, you look familiar. You're a bit older, but I know you. Izuku? Hello again, Miss Diana. It's been a while. I would love to sit here and chat with you, but I have a monster to slay. Be careful. He's somewhat involved each time he dies. I'm up to speed to your situation, Miss Diana. Why don't you take a breather while I entertain this creature? It doesn't seem to be human, so I could finally take off the kid's gloves. As he immediately take flight to follow Doomsday, he finally located him as Doomsday is slowly getting up and snarling at Izuku. So I am right. You're mindless, aren't you? You're nothing but a mindless killing machine. This makes whole things a whole lot easier. You have no intelligence whatsoever. You're nothing but a walking pile of bones. I know how I'm going to take you down, but I need to wear you down a little bit, so I'm going to have some fun. Doomsday launched towards the young new god, as Ezekiel ducked under his fist and nailed vicious right hooks to Doomsday's ribs, then doing the vice versa to his left side. following up with an uppercut. When Ezekiel jumped in the middle of the air, he connected both his hands into a slam, slamming Doomsday with both his fists clenched together, sending Doomsday back to the ground with a Hail Mary. Immediately afterwards, when he finally landed on the ground, Ezekiel created several golems with his matter manipulation. Ezekiel wasn't surprised to see Doomsday brutalizing his golems. Yet again, he engaged in hand-to-hand combat with Doomsday. As Doomsday is striking Ezekiel across the face with powerful blows, making him step backwards from the impact of his sheer physical strength. Ezekiel was no slouch in this fight. He gave as good as he got. As he nailed Doomsday with vicious right hooks to the body and face, with a couple kicks to the back of the head, to mix things up a little bit. Judging by how he's been fighting and his abilities, it would be stupid of me to use my Omega Beams, only for him to adapt to it. The chances of that happening is too great. I can't risk it. I have no choice. I need to wear him down little by little. Then I can knock him into the source wall. No one can escape the source wall once it has its clutches into you. A simple boom tube would be adequate. Luckily, I still have a mother box still. Okay, I'm paused. I'm having trouble with my recording thing, so it's keep pausing on me. So I'm going to continue. Hopefully, I don't fast forward anything. Judging by his abilities and how he's been fighting, I'm not stupid enough to use my Omega Beams, only for him to adapt to it. The chances of that happening is far too great. I have no choice. I need to wear him down little by little bit. Then I can knock him into the source wall. No one can escape that fate once it has its clutches into you. A simple boom tube would be efficient. Luckily, I still have a mother box. He was knocked out of his inner thoughts as Ezekiel goes flying straight through the forest, smashing against several trees, until he finally landed in a waterfall as the waterfall begins to fall on top of his head, the water, as he's leaning against crushed rocks underneath the waterfall, that's making Ezekiel completely soaked from head to toe. Now I'm starting to get annoyed in this monster. It's starting to piss me off. That's it. If you want to act like a monster, I'll treat you like a monster, bitch that you are. He's no longer fighting his father's blood in him, as he goes into a blinding rage, immediately going after Doomsday. When Ezekiel approached Doomsday, he slammed him against several trees, picking up boulders and smashing it against his head. As he repeatedly to use Doomsday as a ping-pong ball, as he strike him against several trees, then pick up the tree that he crashed into and use it like an oversized baseball bat against Doomsday's face. He's at his limit. He can't stay in this state for very long. He won't be able to get himself out of it if he leaves it active any longer. As he came out of his rage state, he was in a open as he opens a boom tube behind him, watching Doomsday run towards him. When he tried to rush towards Ezekiel, he got out of the way, and Ezekiel turned around only to see Doomsday resisting getting sucked into the boom tube from the outer space. From outer space, basically, from the other side of the boom tube. He's struggling against the. He's struggling to not go through the boom tube. Are you serious? Can't you just fucking die already? As Ezekiel lands several strikes to Doomsday's face, while slowly getting Doomsday closer and closer to the boom tube. As he combined his fists and as he landed a vicious combination strike with his fist, gave Doomsday a very vicious Hail Mary. Immediately when he saw Doomsday unbalanced, he he flew up and shoulder charge Doomsday, tackling him into the boom tube. As they're near the surface wall, as Ezekiel land a 5-hit combo, starting with his face, then ending it with a vicious kick to the face, making him fly towards the source wall. As he punched Doomsday in the face to finally get him to make contact with the wall, as the source wall begins to develop him. Serves you right, monster. Dare challenge me. That's what you get. As he went to check on his mother box, to to see his mother box, to open a portal back to Earth. His boom tube or mother box is heavily damaged from the fight. Well, I'll be damned. I'm stuck. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Good old time. Guess road trip's in order, I guess. It's a good thing I could breathe in outer space, or I would be in trouble. Well, damn, where do I go from here? Really don't know where Earth is located. At least, not from where I'm at in the current solar system, wherever this is. I really don't know this area very well. I've only been to the source wall once with Father. But I do know of a planet nearby that does host life. Not sure if it's sentient or not. Well, might as well go check it out. If I remember right, I believe the closest planet to the source wall supports life. I'm unaware if they're sentient, of course. Might not as well. Might as well check it out. Plan out where I'm going to go in the future. Hopefully get some food. Store up so I have a longer voyage. I have a long way back to fly to Earth. When Ezekiel was flying about, going towards the planet, he saw a bunch of space pirates using their ship weapons to attack one girl that seemed to be flying around, throwing out purple star bolts out of her hands and eyes. The girl reminds him of Starfire. He suspects they're most likely from the same race. When all 4 of the ships surround Blackfire, she immediately saw a green beam that went directly through all the ships at the same time. Once she turned around to see where the beam was coming from, she saw a green haired boy floating with glowing green eyes. As Ezekiel just uses Omega beams to basically massacre the whole fleet of pirate ships. She flew towards him and hover around him. She started to stare at him from head to toe. Ezekiel didn't really know what to do or what this girl is doing. He could tell she's not a threat to him, but the girl's behavior is strange to him. He's mostly confused. As she started to talk as she started to talk in an unknown language, Ezekiel knows a few alien language, but this is not one of them. Before Ezekiel could react, she kissed him on the lips. As she purposely put his hands on her hip. As she seems to be enjoying it, then she finally broke the kiss. Well, now, can you understand me now? I think I broke him. As she begins to giggle at him. But you are cute, I'll give you that. And you seem to be strong. How you destroyed all those pirate ships, all at once. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Blackfire. And you are? For starters, what the hell's going on? What did I get myself into? You must be wondering why those evil pirates were after me. And about that little affectionate kiss I gave you. Curious, I wanted to, and plus it's easier for me to do that than trying to learn a new language. I could learn any language by physical contact. And for the pirates, they don't seem to like me very much. I would have no idea why the pirates are after you, and neither do I care. But your explanation is acceptable. It must have to do with your species. Name's Ezekiel. So, what are you doing in these parks, if I may ask? I was fighting something, and my way back home is no longer possible. So I'm forced to fly back home the old-fashioned way. And it's going to be a long trip, so I decided I should head to the nearest planet that can support life. Hopefully, I could find something to eat, then gather enough resources for a long voyage. What about you? Nothing really much outside of this stupid pirates start attacking me and for no reason and ruining my fun. I don't care about them anymore. How about you, Izuku? You want to team up for now until you get to your home to where you want to go? I suppose I could use the assistance, and the company would be nice. You seem to have your own. You seem to have your own motives, but but I don't care. So why not? So what's our next destination, partner? Name's Blackfire, by the way. Well met, Blackfire. For now, let's head to the planet I mentioned. That's near the source wall. I believe it's that way. As they both take flight, as they fly through space and finally land on the planet Izuku mentioned, Izuku is making a campfire. The only life on the planet, it seems to be animals. There is no one there. Oh, sorry. There is no one on the same level of intelligence that would resemble a civilization. It's just wildlife. As Blackfire noticed some fruits that seemed to be edible, as they both sat in front of the fire, Blackfire's a little too close to Izuku, but he never complained about it. He didn't seem to mind it at least that's how she looked at it. So where exactly are you? Sorry, give me a second, guys. So where exactly are you from? What's your home planet? I'm from Apocalypse. Wait, no way, you're a new god? The last time I checked. As she mentally said I hit the jackpot, she doesn't want to say out loud. But unfortunately for her, her minds are too chaotic, so Izuku was able to hear it. She said it a little too loudly. She thought she was talking to herself, but no, she said it out loud. What do you mean by that? I don't mean anything bad by it. The first company I've had in a long time ends up being a new god. I love my luck sometimes. So, what planet have you been staying on? A planet called Earth. in the Milky Way galaxy. Ooh, I know that planet. I've been meaning to pay a little visit to a family member. I think I'll stick with you all the way to Earth, if you don't mind. I don't have any problem with that. Blackfire cuddled up to Izuku. At least that's what she. Blackfire cuddled up to Izuku for warmth. At least that's what she told him. He doesn't know if that's a lie or not. He doesn't know much about her species, so he let it go for now. The next morning, Ezekiel found Starfire leaning against his chest, with his arms wrapped around her waist. When he opened his eyes, he saw several space pirates surrounding them as they all pointed their laser rifles at the two of them. "We finally able to track you down, thief." "Oh, good morning, boys. I guess you're still mad that I took your little treasure. Sorry, I would have told you, but wasn't sure how to break it to you." As she gave Izuku a apologetic smile, before they could do anything else, they both got captured. Even though Izuku could easily kill them, he wants to see where this goes. As, as they're heading towards one of the ships that's going to take him to the main ship, as they both board the space pirate ship. And that's probably where we're going to cut it. Hope you guys have a good day and night, judging by time zones, and I do apologize for some reason, the video doesn't like to pause when I press pause for some reason, so my apologies. I'll keep a closer eye on that from now on. Alright, catch you guys later.